So we just finished Jack's interview and we're gonna break this one down. It's a different kind of lighting setup. We spent about an hour setting up the room, Greg and I. And by the way, I just wanna say, you need people who are great at gripping and who are great gaffers. And he's swinging on this project and doing both of those jobs. If you don't have those people on a set or one person like Greg who can do both of them, it can really make the difference between making your day and not. And he also has that knowledge to be able to control the light the way I want to see what's going to be in the frame. So it's really both the director and the DP's best friend on a set. So let's break this down a little bit. We've got this 1x2 flex light going into a 4x6 panel. It's just skinned with a white bounce. That's our key source. We are filling here with this little reflector. It's a silver gold. We've got a little California sunshine going on to Jack. We're going to talk about color temperatures a lot in this, but right now we're looking at a tungsten color temperature pretty much all around for the entire set because we blacked it out. There's a Kino Flow over there, which is creating a wash of light. We've got an L7 LED fixture, which we can change the color temperature on, which is over there, which is creating this raked light on the bar. And then we do have a Locaster light set above the little blackboard. I think that's it in terms of lighting. What I'd like to do is start to audition some things for you with Greg so you can see what those are. So right now we've got a tungsten. I think what I want to do is let's just turn off some of the lights to show them what's happening first before we do the color temperature thing. Let's turn off the Kino Flow and see what that's doing. Okay, so that's really bringing up the ambience in the space. And if we do it like that, it's way too moody for a place like this. So let's bring that back up. Let's go ahead and kill the L7 and see what that's doing. And I think that that adds a lot of production value. You can see, boom, it all goes dark. Yes, come on. It's definitely feeling a lot nicer when we bring that back up. Let's bring that back up. It's doing a lot of jobs, but it's bringing this light down here and it just really kind of brings the whole level up, and I really like the way it's hitting the bar. Here, again, there's that fill out. There's that fill coming in, and we can adjust it to exactly where we want it to be. And then, of course, in the back over there, we have the Locaster. We don't need to turn it on and off, I guess. And, nah, it's all right. When we change the color temperature, maybe we'll turn it on and off. So let's do this. Let's take a look at color temperatures. And I'm going to go ahead and change the color temperature of our key source to 5600 Kelvin. And, of course, what we need to do then is we need to change our white balance on our camera. So Zach is actually going to change it over to a daylight preset so we can see what that is. And what we're now looking at is something, honestly, that I personally don't like very often. It's a very cool, warm contrast. So we've got cool light hitting the talent, and then our entire background and everything that's happening is going to be a warm. What we could do is, let's kill the Kino, because in order to show you that with daylight, we'd have to change out the bulbs. But let's go ahead and change the L7 to daylight so we can see what that's like. And yeah, let's switch it to daylight so we match the key. And there you go. So now you can see, now we've got a cool together. So if we white balance the camera correctly, that's okay, but that's really a decision based on your space and what you're trying to do. I love in interior spaces to light with tungsten color temperature. And then let's go back up on the ladder and let's change the Locaster to daylight. And we might as well just show them. So we've seen now a warm. Secondly, we looked at a cool warm. And now we're looking at a cool. And of course you have to change the balance, but we were looking at it by changing color temperature. So now we're at daylight, and I think what we're going to do now is we're going to bring the whole set now back to where I think I'd like it to be and where we shot Jack's interview, which is we're going to go ahead and take the L7, we're going to put that back to our tungsten, right? We're going to go ahead, and you can see what's happening in this camera. Let's just leave it on daylight right now so we can see all the funkiness. We're going to bring up the 4-foot Kino and see what that's doing. Boom. So that now we've got our warm light. You can start to see that. Now I'm going to go ahead and change my key. I'm going to put that back to tungsten. So that's going down to about 3200. And remember that we can white balance instantly. Cameras need to be told where the white balance is going to be. So now Zach's going to switch it back over on our camera here to a tungsten white balance. And this is a little bit different, but what we're looking at now is pretty much what we wound up with for the interview, which is we've got a warm key, we've got the L7 warm, we've got the Kino warm, and then we've just changed that Locaster up there to a daylight color temperature. When we white balance the tungsten and we use a blue light that's not spilling on talent in the background, it's going to read very blue. And you get that nice warm, cool contrast, which I like a lot when I'm shooting things. Couple of other things that we're doing. We had a little bit of spill here from the key light, which was hitting over in this area, and it was bringing up the ambience a little bit too much. So we've set a 4x floppy, so we've got a 4x8 here, which is stopping some of that key light from hitting here. And then Greg set the Kino Flow to do that job in a much better way over there, and it's doing it really, really well. So again, a little bit more contrasty. I think it works really well. It's a completely different setup. We can use this in a lot of different production environments. It's just what we chose to do here for this particular interview. And now we're going to break down this set and we're going to go set up for an entirely different lighting setup for another interview.